This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in yesterday class, we discussed about that introduction of Maven. What is the Maven, right? When Maven directory structure within Maven installation. So I hope everyone has installed Maven, right? So if you want to install Maven, first you should install the Java. Okay, so if anybody facing the issue installing Maven Java in your laptop, do practice in the Linux server also, not a problem. So someone has pinged that they are facing some issue while installing Java in the Windows 32-bit machine. Just ignore it. Okay, don't do practice in 32-bit machine. Suresh Kumar is saying that, sir, we downloaded that zip file, Apache Maven 3.8.4 zip file. But when we go for Apache 3.8 bin.tar file, so this is his question. Are bhaiya, whatever you want, we can take it. Okay. So Saujan is saying tar for Linux. No, madam, your assumption is wrong. Okay. Say they are giving that this Maven software in two archive formats. One is zip, another one is tar. Right. So if you want, you can download the tar file also. Not a problem. So if you download the tar file, what you have to do? You have to use a tar command for extracting. Tar hyphen xvf, right? So the tar file name we are going to specify. So this is a conzip file. So .gz extension. So you have to use it zxvf. So if you go and download this tar file and if you extract like this one, you will see that the same directory structure only. So however, we downloaded this zip file and we have extracted using the unzip command, right? We are using the unzip command to down extracting the zip file. Same way, after extracting, you will see that the same directory structure, the star file also. So Mahesh is asking, sir, for downloading Java in Windows, it's ask account in Oracle, but in Linux it's not. See, we are downloading that RPM file, right? So it is not going to ask. Clear? Suresh, there is no change even if you use the zip file or tar file. Both are same only, but different archive formats. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about that some sample content in the pom.xml. See, each build tool, the default script files will be there. Suppose if it is and the default file name is build.xml. Okay. If it is the Maven pom.xml, right? If it is a Gradle build.gradle, right? So these are the default file names for the build script, right? Can we give the custom names? So instead of pom.xml, suppose assume I am installing that I'm creating a Maven build script for Facebook application. Can I give that facebook.xml? Yes, it is possible. So Sajan is saying, sorry sir, tar we cannot able to open in Windows. Yes, madam. Okay, the tar we are not able to open in that Windows. Na? You can that time you can download the zip file. Correct, you are correct. See, each build script we have default file names. So like that Maven, the default file name for build script is pom.xml. In this pom.xml, if you see, project tag is there. So this one we are going to call as a parent tag or root tag. Parent tag or we can call as root tag. Why we are calling parent tag? If you observe here, it is starting with the project tag and closing with this one. So this build script we are going to write in the form of XML format. Anybody heard about this HTML? How many guys knows about this HTML? Oh, good, many people. XML. Is there any difference between HTML and XML? Yes. So in the HTML, all the tags are predefined. Okay. So like HTML one tag is there, right? And HTML closing tag is there, and body tag is there. So like all these are predefined tags, right? In the XML, predefined tags are there, and you can you can create your own custom defined tags also. And one more thing, so if you want, you can create the tag name like this one. Each opening tag should have a closing tag. So like this one, this is a closing tag. So this is the opening tag, and this is the closing. Each opening tag should have a closing tag, but in the HTML, it is not a mandatory. Even if you don't give the closing tag, it is going to work. But that is not a good practice. You should use the closing tag also. Clear? Each opening tag should have a closing tag. That is the main difference between XML and HTML. In the HTML, all the tags are predefined, right? And in the XML, you can create your own user-defined tags also. You can create your own user-defined tags also. Clear? So here, project is a one opening tag, and it contains that closing tag. So this one we are going to call as closing tag, right? So here it contains that subtags. Here it contains that some subtags. So group ID, artifact ID, version, and packaging. So if you see here, group ID. So usually the group ID, the syntax will be com dot company name. So assume we are developing for a Facebook, right, from Mithun Software Solutions. So if you want, you can give that Facebook, com dot Facebook. The syntax for group ID is com dot company name dot. If you want, you can give the project name also. Okay, and artifact ID. So this artifact ID, it's a project name. So we are developing for Facebook, na? So we are going to use this one. Version. If you want, you can give that first version 1.0.0. Okay, and packaging tag. So already we know using the Maven for Java projects, we are going to create that various packages: jar, var, yar. So whatever you are going to specify here, okay, so that package is going to create it. right? That package is going to create it. So if it is a standalone, we are going to specify that jar file. If it is a web application, we are going to specify here where. If it is enterprise application, we are going to create that here, right? So based on the packaging tag, whatever we are going to specify, that package is going to create it. Clear? Clear? So many times they ask this question. So can you explain me about the group ID, artifact ID, version, and packaging tag? So group ID, it will be like a company name, and a project name also you can specify. So artifact ID is nothing but it's a project name, and version you can specify that whatever the version, and the packaging tag. So in the packaging tag, we are going to specify that package name, right? Which package we want to create it. Clear? Then if you see here, dependencies, this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. This is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. Inside the dependencies tag, you can specify n number of dependencies. So these are the dependencies which we are going to use for our project purpose. See, I want to develop the Facebook application, which is going to use some dependencies to run that particular project, right? So see here, JUnit is a one dependency. So what purpose we are going to use this JUnit? Anybody idea? JUnit dependency, what purpose? To run the test cases. To run the unit test cases. Unit test cases. So who is going to write this unit test cases? Developers are going to write. Developers are going to write the unit test cases. Why developer has to write these unit test cases? To test the source code programmatically. See, usually each developer, whatever that program he is going to write, suppose assume he is writing that hello world dot java. This is the source code. This is the source code, and he is going to write the unit test case to test this source code. So that unit test case name will be like this one: hello world test dot java. Hello world test dot java. This is a unit test case. Unit test case, right? So if you see any file which contains that keyword test in the file name, definitely it will be unit test case. It will be unit test case, right? So to run this unit test case, to test this unit test case, to run this unit test case, we are going to use this JUnit dependency, right? So like this, as a developer, he is going to add n number of dependencies, right? How developer knows? He knows which dependency it required, right? For what purpose? He knows. We don't want to worry about that. As a developer, he is going to develop this build script, this form.xml. As a DevOps engineer, we have to know what are these tags, for what purpose they are going to use. Because if something goes wrong, We have to fix ourselves instead of waiting that developers, right? So usually we are not going to fix any issues in this source code side. If any compilation issues or any source code related issues, immediately we are going to inform to that development team. So as a DevOps engineer, we have to know that at least some content in the pom.xml, because we are going to update sometime this pom.xml, because we need to integrate that nexus with the Maven, right? So that time nexus repository details we are going to configure in the pom.xml. You have to know where we need to configure those details and all. Anyway, we are going to discuss again how we can update this pom.xml and all, right? So where developer will get this code snippet, is dependency related. Very simple. He is not going to write from the scratch. So we have one repository is there. Just search with Maven central repository. Just search with this way. You will get this one. https colon to forward slash search dot maven.org. Just click on this one. So here, suppose I want to search with I want to use that one dependency log4j. Hit the enter. See, you got that many search results. So I want this one. See here, 14 versions are there. Okay. So just click on this number. So these are 14 versions are there in this one. So log4j, log4j. This is the group ID, artifact ID, version, and these many versions are there. Click on this one. See here, many versions are there. Okay. So I want to take this one. So developer knows which version he needs to use. So we need to use that 1.2.7. Assume. Click on this one. See here, it is giving the code snippet. So as a developer, he will go to that Maven central repository. So whatever the dependencies it required, he is going to copy and paste it here in the pom.xml. So like this, in the real time, hundreds of dependency tags, it will be there in under dependency section. So all these dependencies are going to added by the developer. See here, they are specifying that the scope here, they specify the test. So like that we have various scopes are there, like a compiler one scope is there, then a run, test. Okay. So like this some scopes are there. So what this scope represents here means this dependency can be used when you are running the unit test cases. When you are running the unit test cases, that time only this dependency is going to work. So for some dependencies, we are going to specify the compile. Means while compiling the code, only that time that a dependency is going to available. Run. So when you are running that program, only that time it is going to available. So like that, you can specify that scopes also. We are not going to specify. So developer he is going to specify based on that availability. So when it has to available. Clear. So like this guys, n number of dependencies going to add as part of your project pom.xml. Who is going to add? As a developer, because he knows which dependencies we need to add. Clear. So now when you are going to run this build script, so if you want to run the build script, we are going to use that command called as mvn package. We'll discuss what is this mvn, what is this package. So when you are executing mvn package command, which is going to create a package, so whatever that package name we have specified, that package name it is going to create. So when going to create a package, before that first it is going to get all these dependencies whatever we have specified. See here, just we have specified the names. We have specified the names, right? But we didn't downloaded those physical files. So when you are doing a build very first time, your Maven build system, it is going to download those dependencies from any one of the repositories. So what are the Maven repositories? We have three types of Maven repositories are there. Maven local repository, right? Maven central repository, then remote repository. Remote repository. Three repositories are there. Maven local repository, Maven central repository, and a remote repository. So once if you execute mvn package, whatever the dependencies we specified in the form.xml, these dependencies first it is going to check in your Maven local repository. So Maven local repository is nothing but it is a one folder in your laptop. It is going to create it. Where it is going to create that one? In your user home directory. User home directory. There you will see that .m2 folder. There you will see that one directory called as repository. One directory name is repository. Right. So it is going to search in this Maven local repository. So here I am specifying that tilde symbol. Tilde symbol will represent that user home directory. If it is a Windows in C drive, there you will see that users directory. Inside the users directory, you will see that your username. Can you see? Go to that C drive. Users one directory is there. Inside that users directory, you will see that username. Can you confirm? You guys can able to see or not? Yes, right? So there you will see that .m2. So by default, it is not available. When you are going to do first time, okay, executing any Maven commands, that time it is going to create. So there you will see that repository. So this is the default path for Maven local repository. If it is a Windows, right? If it is a Mac, users, username, then .m2 repository. It is a MacBook, right? So if it is a Linux /home /mithun /.m2 /repository. It is a Linux. It is a Linux, right? /home / see all the users information is available in the home directory, right? Yes or no? So this is your Maven local repository default path. So when you are doing Maven build, first whatever the dependencies you have specified in the dependencies tag in the pom.xml, first it will search in your local repository. Okay, so if it is not available in the local repository, then it will go to the central repository. So here we specified that this is the default path for Maven local repository. Maven local repository. Is it possible to change this one default path to the custom path? Yes, it is possible. Okay, it is possible. How? Did you remember we discussed about that one configuration file? So what is the configuration file which we discussed? The file name settings.xml. Settings.xml. So which is available in your conf directory. Where this conf directory is available? In your Maven home directory. So if you go inside this settings.xml, you will see one tag called as local repository. Local repository is one tag, and already we know each opening tag should have a closing tag, na? This one. So here keep the path. Here you can keep the path where we need to create the Maven, the local repository, right? So this is the default path. If you want to change from default path to the custom path, go to the settings.xml. You will see that local repository tag. There you can update this path where you want to create that Maven local repository. Clear? So if you go and see, we already discussed group ID, artifact ID, version. So a Maven repository can be any one of the following types: Maven local repository, Maven central repository, remote repository. Maven local repository is a local folder that is used to store all your project dependencies. In simple, when you build a Maven project, all the dependency files will be stored in your Maven local repository. By default, Maven local repository is default to .m2 folder. If it is a Mac OS, this one. If it is a Windows, C users at a username .m2. If it is a Linux, this one. Normally, we will change the default local repository folder from .m2 to another meaningful name as follows. So if you want to change that one, go to the settings.xml, update the local repository tag with something else like this one. Give some name. Okay, so this is a path, custom path. Okay, so if you add this path in local repository, instead of default one, it is going to take the custom path. So like this, you can change the default Maven local repository path to something else. So this is the important intro question, not only for DevOps needs, even for Java developers also. It is very important question. Almost 8 years back, when I'm switching to the other company, so that time I was attending for interviews. Okay, in SG, so it is general. They ask this question. So what is the Maven default local repository path? Is it possible to change? Is it possible to make it customizable? Yes. How? Go to the settings.xml. What is the tag name? They asked. So the tag name is local repository. The tag name is local repository. If you observe here, many times what the people are going to do now, they are going to keep this R as a lowercase. How they are going to write? You know, they are going to keep like this. And they are saying, sir, it is not working, sir. How it will work, sir? You are keeping R in the lower case. It should be in uppercase. It should be in the uppercase. Remember, don't do these mistakes, because I'm pointing out and I'm again and explaining all these things. Many times, many people, when they are doing This custom local repository, they are going to keep with lowercase. It should be uppercase. R should be uppercase in the local repository tag. Clear? So like this, you can change the Maven default local repository path to custom path. Now you guys clear, right? What is the Maven local repository? Maven local repository is one folder. It contains that all the project dependencies, right? Then what is the Maven central repository? The Maven central repository is the repository provided by the Maven community team. It contains a large repository of commonly used libraries. It contains n number of libraries. This repository comes into a play when Maven doesn't find that libraries in the local repository. So usually when you are doing Maven build, okay, what it is going to do? So whatever the dependencies we specified in the form.xml, first it will check in your Maven local repository. If it is not available, then it will go to the Maven central repository. From there, it is going to download and it is going to keep into the your Maven local repository. Right. So Maven local repository, each developer can contains in their laptop. What about Maven central repository? Maven central repository is only one repository. It is managing by Maven community team. Okay, so they are going to keep all the project dependencies, whatever it is required to develop that project, they are going to keep on upload the term dependencies. Okay, so when we are going to this central repository, see here, this repository comes into a play when Maven doesn't find that libraries in the local repository. When this repository is going to use, if the repository doesn't find that libraries in the local repository, then it will go to that central repository. From there, it is going to download and it is going to keep into your Maven local repository. Clear? Anybody have any questions about that local repository and central repository? No questions? Okay. So if you want to access the central repository, your laptop should contain that internet connection. Suresh is asking for local repository. For local repository, jars comes from the central repository only, not only from central repository. It is going to download from various repositories. We'll discuss. Okay. See, when you are doing very first time that builder, your build system, first it will check that dependencies in your local repository. If it is not able to find that dependencies in your local repository, then it will go to that Maven central repository or remote repository also. Okay, or whatever the repositories you have configured. Now you guys know about this central repository, right? So this is the one centralized repository where n number of libraries are there, which is managing by the Maven community. Then what about the remote repository? See, this remote repository is managing by each organization. They have their own remote repository, right? Enterprises means companies. Companies usually maintain their own repositories for the libraries that are being used for this project. Okay, see, assume in Mithun Software Solutions, we have developed some 10 jar files. 10 jar files. Okay, so these jar files we are going to use all the projects, whatever the projects which we are going to develop in our company. So I want to use these 10 jar files. So then how we are going to share? Through communicator, through emails? No, we should not supposed to. Through pen drive? It is not at all. Then how we are going to share these 10 jar files to all the projects which are going to develop in our company? Through some shared libraries. What we are going to do? We are going to create a one repository, not the Git. Okay, so we are going to use some artifact repositories and we are going to create repositories. There we are going to upload. So if you want to create the remote repositories, okay, we are going to use that Nexus or JFrog, Artifactory. So like some tools are there. Using those tools, we are going to create the repositories. There we are going to add these jar files. Okay, maybe you have a question, sir, why we are creating the repositories? Why we are uploading these 10 jar files in our repository? Why can't we share these 10 jar files with the Maven community team so that they can upload into the Maven central repository? What will happen if you upload into a central repository? We are making public, means anybody can able to download these dependencies, right? We should not supposed to do, because these are proprietary which are going to use only within our company for our project purpose. We have developed, not for everyone, right? It is developed, these jar files developed for our project purposes, our company purpose only. So that's why we don't want to share with the Maven central team. So that time what we are going to do, using these tools, we are going to create a remote repository. There we are going to upload, and we are going to configure this remote repository URL in the form.xml, so that automatically it is going to download from the remote repository. Clear? See here. So these different from the local repositories. A repository is maintained on a separate server, different from the developer's machine, and it is accessible within our organization only. So that repository we can able to access within our organization only, within our company only. So whatever the repository which we created to share those libraries, we can able to access within our company only. Clear? So now if you see that Maven architecture, so when you were doing Maven build, so whatever the dependencies we specified in form.xml, so first it is going to check in your Maven local repository. So if it is not available, then it will go to the central repository. If it is not available in central repository, then it is going to remote repository. From there it is going to download. See, first it will check in your local repository. If it is not available, it will go to the central repository. If it is find that dependency in central repository, it is going to download from central repository to local repository. From there it is going to use for your project. So directly from central repository to your project folder, it is not going to download. If it is not available in central repository, okay, it will go to the remote repository. From remote repository, it is going to download into your local repository. From there it is going to use your project. From there it is going to use your project. Clear, guys? Anybody have any questions about this one? About Maven architecture? Sir, we can change this flow, na? First local, then remote, then central, because most likely remote repo. Yes, Santosh, if you want, you can do it also. Okay. If you want to give the preference, hey, you have to download from remote repository only. So like that also. So this site we'll discuss. Don't worry on this one. Okay. That one, Santosh, whatever you asked, if you want, you can download from remote repository only also, we can do it. That condition we can add it. Instead of downloading from central, if you want to download only from remote repo also, we can do it. Suresh is asking, sir, in our organization, one local repo, two remote repositories. I didn't get your question. See, in each organization, we are going to use these repositories. Each developer have its own local repository. Not only developer, even if you download any Java project which is the having the Maven as a build tool, and if you do that build, even in your laptop also, it is going to create that Maven local repository. Maven central repository is only one central repository. It can be accessible by anyone. If you have internet, we can able to access it. Remote repository. Each company have an they have their own remote repository. They can have n number of remote repositories also within a same company also. But usually they are going to maintain one repository. Clear?
Sir,
So
actually, in our organization, if
so each developer or user, they have their own local repository. So central repository, only one central repository, only one central repository. Maven local repositories, n number of, even remote repository also, n number of remote repositories we can. Clear? Yes, Suresh Babu, बोलिए.
no, sir, actually, in our organization, if any user didn't find the local repo, then it goes to the remote repository that is at the organization level. If there also we didn't find, then they don't allow us to go to the central repository. They only download into the remote repository. That is the structure in our organization. In that case, the second level is the remote repository as per our organization.
See, that is up to you. Okay, so if you want to, so first, anyway, by default, first it will search in your local repository, right? If it is not available, then you can search in central repository or remote repository. So that condition you can change in that settings.xml. I will show you where you need to change it and how to change it. We'll discuss that one when we are discussing about that remote repository. So now we are not going to create this remote repository. So if you want to create a remote repository, you should have artifact repository tools, right? Like Nexus and all. So without knowing about the Nexus, how we can able to create the remote repository? So this remote repository we are going to create when we are going to discuss about that Nexus. Clear? So you guys clear about this repositories, right? Okay. Then we'll go to the other topic. Maven life cycles. Maven life cycles. So Kavita is asking, sir, users also create local repositories and going to remote repositories? See, madam, even if you execute mvn package command, automatically your Maven is going to create this local repository. Even if you didn't create also, by default, it is going to create by your Maven build system. So that remote repository, we are going to create it. Okay. See, Maven having that three life cycles, life cycle name, and each life cycle having that corresponding goals. So what is the first life cycle name? Clean. Clean is the one life cycle. So this life cycle having that many goals like pre-clean, post-clean, clean. So life cycle name also clean and goal name also clean. Goal name also clean. So it clean life cycle having other goals also, pre-clean, post-clean, like that one. So what this goal is going to do? What this goal is going to do? Can you guess? Clean. It is going to clean the things. Yes, it will delete the previous build files. It will delete the previous build files. Right. I will show you what files it is going to delete. Okay. So it will delete the previous build files. So we have other goals also, but we are going to use this clean goal only. We are not going to use that like a pre-clean, post-clean. Those goals we are not going to use. Then another life cycle called as site. So what this site life cycle having the goals? So it is having that one goal called as a site. So what the site goal is going to do? It will generate the it will generate the documentation. It will generate the documentation for the source code. Right. See, as a developer, he is going to write the source code, right? So that source code contains that functions, right? It contains that variables. Yes or no? So when you are sharing this document to that, when you are sharing the source code to that others, you need to give that documentation about that one. So that others can able to understand. So instead of manually creating the document, use this site goal, and we can generate that documentation automatically. You don't want to manually generate it. You don't want to create it, right? But nowadays the site goal is not using because it's outdated. So one advanced tool is there for creating the documentation. Anybody idea? If you are from development background, you know that one. Swagger. So this is advanced online documentation tool for your source code. You don't want to worry about this one. As a developer, they should know about all these things. Clear? Another important life cycle is default. Another important life cycle is default. It contains that many goals. So what are the important goals? We'll see. It having many goals are there, but we are not going to use that all the goals. Validate is one of the goal. What this validate goal is going to do? Name itself is there. It will validates the directory structure and files, resource files, whatever it is available or not. So it is going to check that whether all the directories are there and files are there, right? So another goal is compile. What this goal is going to do? It will compile the source code and JUnit test cases code also. Okay, it is going to compile the source code and JUnit test cases code also. Clear? Another goal called as test goal. What this goal is going to do? It will. Can you guess what this goal is going to do? It will run the unit test cases. It will run the unit test cases. So Manogna is asking, JUnit means, sir? See, when the developer is developing the source code, already we discussed it, right? He is going to write the unit test cases. What is the use of this unit test cases? To test the source code programmatically. So here I am referring that JUnit. J means Java unit test cases. Here J means Java unit test cases, right? So each programming language, its own unit testing framework is there. So if it is a Java, JUnit testing framework is there. If it is a .NET, N unit testing framework is there. If it is a C language, C unit testing framework will be there. If it is a C++, CPP unit testing, right? If it is a Node.js, Angular, React, okay, we have many testing frameworks are there. Jasmine, okay, Karma, like many unit test cases are there. Many testing frameworks, unit testing frameworks. So like that for Java, JUnit. So that's why I'm referring that JUnit test cases. So who is going to write this unit test cases? Developer is going to write. We don't want to worry about that one. Okay, each programming, they have its own testing framework is there. Clear? So if you use this test goal, it will run the unit test cases. Here unit test cases means JUnit test cases. Another goal, package. What this goal is going to do? It will create the package. It will create the package. What type of package it is going to create? Based on the project types. If it is a standalone, jar. If it is a web application, where. If it is the enterprise application, ER. Right? It will create that various packages based on the package name which we specified in the packaging tag. Right? Next one is install. What this goal is going to do? It will store the build artifact. So guys, build artifact or package, both are same. Build artifact or package, both are same. It will store the build artifact in Maven local repository. So if you use that mvn install, it will store the build artifact into the your Maven local repository. Another goal called as deploy. Another goal called as deploy. What this goal is going to do? It will store the build artifact into remote repository. It is going to store into the remote repository. Clear? So now you guys clear about all these goals and all, right? Now I have one interview question. What is the command for running the unit test cases? Can you tell me? Okay, Om Prakash has given that. Answer is mvn test. Yes. So if you want to run only unit test cases, we are going to use that mvn test. So if you want to create a package, mvn package. mvn package. So if you want to delete the previous build files, mvn clean. Right. So can I use like this one? mvn clean package. Can I use more than one goal along with the mvn command? Yes. But which goal is going to execute first? Clean goal or a package goal? So it is going to execute from left to right order. So it will execute the clean goal, then it will execute the package goal. Right. So first clean, then it will means first it will delete the previous build files, then it is going to create that package. Clear? Can I use like this one? mvn package clean. Can I use like this one? No. No use at all. Why? It is creating package, then it is deleting. No use, right? So first we have to clean, then we have to build that one. Right. So Om Prakash is asking, sir, if we give Maven deploy, by default it will execute all the default goals? No. See here, along with the Maven command, mvn command, you have to pass goal names. You should not supposed to pass the life cycles. See here, why you got that question? I know, because here clean is the life cycle, and clean life cycle having the goal name called also clean. site is a one life cycle which is having that goal name called as a site. Like that you are thinking that okay, so default is a life cycle and we have one goal called as default. We don't have any goal name called as default. Clear? So these are the important goals from the default life cycle. Default life cycle. We have many other goals from the default life cycle, but these are the goals which we are going to use. Clear? So now if we execute that MV and test, what are the goals are going to execute? It will execute the validate goal, compile goal, then only it is going to execute the test goal. So if you execute that MVN package, first it will execute the validate goal, compile goal, test goal, and package goal. So guys, this order also very important. If you specify MVN deploy, it will execute the validate goal, compile goal, test goal, package goal, install goal, then deploy goal. Right? See, when you are executing MVN clean package, what will happen? So first it will execute the clean goal, then it will execute the package goal. Before executing package goal, it will execute the validate goal, compile goal, test goal, package goal. Right? So if any of the goal is failed, suppose while compiling your source code, some issue with the code, it has failed this compile goal. Is it going to continue that other goals to execute? Test goal, package goal under? No. So if any goal is failed, other goals are not going to execute. Okay, suppose assume in one of the project where I was working, it having that 700 JUnit test cases. JUnit test cases. So when I executed MVN clean package, what happened? So first it validated your project code, then it is compiled. It compiled your source code as well as unit test cases code also. Then it's executing that unit test cases. In 700 unit test cases, 699 unit test cases has passed. 699 unit test cases has passed. One has failed. One unit test case has failed. Okay. So now, is it going to create a package? No. If any one unit test case failed also, it is not going to create a package. Okay. So we identified it's very small mistake. Maybe that semicolon we missed. We fixed that one. Now again, if we execute this one, is it going to execute only that one failed unit test cases, or again all the unit test cases it is going to run? All the unit test cases. So again it will take that more time. So that time it was taking that more than 1 hour to do the build, because first it is going to run the unit test cases, then only it is going to create a package, right? So in this case 699 passed first time, one has failed, we fixed that one. Even that one also it is going to successful, we know. But again if you do mvn clean package, again it is going to execute all these unit test cases. I don't want to run unit test cases. because I want to create a package immediately and I want to deploy it in the dev environment because dev team is waiting. What to do? Is it possible to skip running the unit test cases? So Dharmendran is asking, JUnit test cases are mandatory? See, the Dharmendran, yes. Earlier, when we are following waterfall model, these things and all, we are not writing. When we started implementing this Devops methodology, yes, it is a mandatory because we need to do more automation. Na? So that's why we are going to, we means as a developer, he is going to write the unit test cases. He is going to write the unit test cases to automate your source code testing, right? Is it possible to skip running the unit test cases? Yes, it is possible. How we can skip running the unit test cases? I don't want to execute this one. See, when I'm executing Maven clean package, okay, validate goal, compile goal can execute it, but I want to skip to run this test goal. How it is possible? Very simple. Just you can execute mvn clean package -d skip tests. So here D is a capital letter. D should be capital letter. So using this D option, we are pass the options. Skip test. See here, T should be capital letter. So if we execute this one, it is going to skip running the unit test cases. We have other option also. mvn clean package -d. Okay. Maven dot skip dot tests is equal to true. So you can use this one also. Maven dot skip dot tests is equal to true. So this one also it is going to ignore running the unit test cases. We'll see the difference between this one and this one. Santosh is asking if we want to do add more testing for skipping. See, even n number of unit test cases are there in your project. If you use these options, it is not going to run any unit test cases. It is going to skip all the unit test cases. It is not going to run at all. Clear? So using these two options, we can skip running the unit test cases. So Mohan is asking if you want to skip more goals, it is not possible. By see, suppose if you want to compile this one, if you want to ignore this one, if you want to skip this compile goal, it is not possible at all. Why? Because without compiling, can you able to create a package? Suppose if you are trying to skip this package goal without creating a package, can you able to store that package? No, only one goal can able to ignore it. So just with Salva sir, is there any way we can run these Maven commands on our AWS or learning purpose, or is it covered later in this course? Madam, did you attend a studies class? Okay, so I explained Maven installation. So whatever that Maven software we have installed in the Linux server, there we are going to practice all these commands. So whatever I have explained, we are going to practice in tomorrow session. Okay, so now just we are learning all these topics in the Maven. So tomorrow session is very, very important. So whatever we discussed yesterday and today, it is not that much useful, but if you know all these things, it is good to have, right? So if you see other training centers, guys are just they are explaining MVN clean package. This is the command which we can use for creating a package. That's all. Just 20 minutes is enough for them for covering this Maven, but it is not going to helpful in future. If you know end to end what is the Maven local repository, when you are executing MVN clean package, in the background what it is happening, you should know it. Then only you will get that good overview of end to end all the DevOps tools, right? If you see, even I can explain this one. Hey, if you want to create a package, just execute MVN clean package. You don't know what is this clean, what is this package, what is this MVN and all. In the background, what it is going to happen, you don't know. You should know all these things. Yes or no? So tomorrow what we are going to do? So we are going to execute all these comments. If you want to execute all these comments, you should have a Java projects which are having the Maven as a build tool. So already in our organization, if you go and see, we have many Java projects are there which are have Maven as a build tool. Maven web application, right? Maven standalone application, Maven enterprise application also it is there. Click on view all repositories. See Maven standalone, then Maven enterprise also it is there. Beats are it's over. Maven standalone. This is the web application standalone. Maven enterprise. So these three projects we are going to download into your laptop or into the Linux server. There we are going to execute all these commands. Clear? Anybody have any questions? What are the commands? What are the goals? What are the repositories which we discussed? So Suresh is asking one question. So I'm not going to answer now because even if I explain also, you are not able to understand. Suresh, we are going to cover once if you start discussing about the nexus, easily you can able to answer yourself for your question. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to discuss execute all these comments whatever we discussed. So Monday we are going to start that Apache Tomcat. Clear? Okay. Thank you guys. So guys, clear that second installment. Okay. So don't miss that. So Mahesh is saying, I request all when sir giving so much information not to stop. It's sincere request. Thank you. So Chaitanya is asking, AWS will be discussed in middle of the sessions. Yes. So once Tomcat is over, we'll discuss about that SonarQube. Then Nexus. Then Jenkins. Then Ansible. Monitoring tools. Then resume preparation. Then AWS. After that, Docker, then Kubernetes. This is the order which we are going to discuss. Okay. Yes, this weekend no class. Okay. Maybe we'll take later. Okay. Yes, I will share that these documents. Okay. So guys, till here I am going to cover. So these three topics, AWS, Docker, and Kubernetes, are going to cover by the Balasan. So these three topics, it is going to take around 1 month, 2 months. These three topics are going to take around 2 months. Okay, clear? Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.